It's time for our monthly visit from the pet doctor.
Sandi Sawchuk from the UW School of Veterinary Medicine is here, and we're taking your calls at 270-9933. Hi, Sandy.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi, nice to be here.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Nice and tan. You're
Yeah, I was
having a good summer
in Barbados for a week, and it was wonderful. But yeah, I had to leave the dogs at home. 2 pet sitters, it took a lot of work. Took a whole day to get ready, just to get the pets.
Absolutely, I hear you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go to the phones. We've got lots of calls. We'll start with Cindy in Janesville. Hi, Cindy. What's your question?
Hi. I have a 3-year-old female spayed black lab, and she's totally housebroken, supposedly, and she keeps on getting these ear infections. And we take her to the vet, get the ear washed, the ear drops. She keeps on scratching it. Now she's
poor thing. If you took a normal dog and a normal ear and took the worst swab of bacteria and yeast and put it in the ear, guess what? Nothing would happen. Because the normal ear has a great barrier to prevent infections from occurring. So when we see dogs with an ear infection, or especially a recurrent ear infection, a couple of things come to mind. One would be that your dog has some underlying problem with the barrier, the skin barrier in the ear. Either your dog has allergies. Being a lab, that would be my #1 guess, is that your dog is allergic to something in the environment that's triggering this. Or there's something anatomically wrong with your dog where maybe there's a foreign body in there or a polyp or something that could be causing some trouble. The big thing is that even though it's recurrent, you have to go in for those rechecks to make sure the infection's under control, and then it's daily surveillance when you've got a dog with a problem like this. Mark, you know exactly what it's like.
Your dog's having the same issue.
Does it tell you anything if it's both ears or just one ear?
We see dogs with allergies with just one ear. Sometimes it's their feet, one ear. Sometimes it's both ears. It can really vary dog to dog.
You got to keep at it.
Oh, you do.
We'll be in for a drop soon, Sandy.
Yes.
Mary in Barneveld, you're next. Hi there. What's your question?
Hi, we have a 6-year-old boxer, and I'd like to know, how does a person know they've selected the right dry dog food? When you Google for ratings, of course, they always end up being the most expensive for the higher rated foods.
Good question.
How do you know?
Well, if you got an hour, I can sit down and talk to you. It's a really difficult thing. There's so many marketing gimmicks out there now, the grain-free diets and, certain proteins and so on that are in there. And some say they have blueberries and so on. I think the best thing you can do is not look at the ingredients per se, but what you want to see on it is that the food has actually been fed to dogs. I would only recommend foods that have gone through what's called AFCO feeding trials. It stands for American Association of Feed Control Officials. And the difference you'll see on the bag is some say they've actually gone through feeding trials, which means it's been fed to dogs and they know that they do okay on it. Most of the bags that are out there of some of the smaller brands are going to say formulated to meet AFCO standards, which means they can produce a food and it may never have even been fed to a dog. I don't trust those diets, and I think there's lots of great foods out there that you don't have to spend an arm and a leg for. And I would be glad to come back and do a little show on this. I think it would be a wonderful topic.
Yeah,
will the AFCO, will that seal be on certain brands?
It has to be on every brand of food. I mean, there's something that has to be, there should be a statement on there.
Yeah, just go to a pet store, you're overwhelmed.
You are. I'm overwhelmed when I see it, yeah.
All right, let's go to Tamara in Monticello. Hi, which question?
Yes, I have a Border Collie mix. She is a year old, about 30 pounds. We adopted her about 2 months ago, and she snores at night, and then she makes like snorty noises. I'm thinking she has allergies. Is it okay to give her Benadryl?
My guess is that she probably doesn't have allergies. Most dogs that have allergies, like the first caller, it affects their skin. If it is affecting their nose, it's usually secondary. You're going to see ear inflammation, foot inflammation, and then maybe a little drippy nose. But my guess is that your dog is just a snorer, probably has an elongated soft palate. I live with a whole house full of snorers, including myself, The house just rocks with the bulldogs. But the snorting that your dog may be doing, there's a condition called reverse sneezing. And I would do it on the air here, but you know what? You can just go to YouTube now and just enter reverse sneeze, and you're going to see lots of dogs that are doing it. And many dogs do this, and some more than others, especially those with an elongated soft palate.
I know snoring, too.
Oh, yeah.
You've watched Lola.
Oh, I had to get up and close the door. Lola was snoring so loud.
I know, I know.
Let's get a kitty question. Rose from Madison. Hi there. You're next. What's your question?
Hi. Yes, I've got 2 rescue cats. I've had one for over 6 years, and this one I've had for less than a year, and he sprays.
Okay.
Not a lot, but little places here and there.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, first of all, I hope he's neutered, because if he isn't neutered, that would be the #1 thing you'd want to do, is get that cat castrated if he isn't. When cats spray, they're actually leaving a scent mark behind, and so they're backing up, quivering their tail, and shooting out a small stream of urine on a vertical object, usually walls, couches, and so on. And the reason why they do that is because they don't know how to work a spray paint can. If they did, they would be leaving graffiti. Stay away from my territory. So something is bugging that cat, whether it be a cat outside, the other cat that you're sharing the house with, that they're just feeling very socially stressed, and they have to tag their area to say they live here. So things you want to do, make sure you've got plenty of litter boxes, get rid of the strays and things from the yard, clean those spots really well with a good enzymatic cleaner. Your veterinarian can recommend a couple. I like Urine Off, it's my favorite one. And I think plugging in a Feel Away diffuser may be helpful as well. And that's a facial pheromone that sometimes makes cats feel a little more comfortable.
That's just a plug-in thing. It looks like an air freshener.
It does, yeah.
All right, lots of good questions as usual.
Oh, it's wonderful
Out
to
of time.
hear all these interesting ones.
Yeah.
Thanks for your calls, everybody.
All right, thanks, Sandy. We'll see you in a month.
We'll see you next month.